Before this video begins, I would like to give a huge shout out to Demon72 and GojiraFan05. They both helped me out a bunch with this video by making renders for Goku for this video, as you'll find out later. If you want, go support them, link down in the description for both of their YouTube channels. And yeah, with that, let's get into this 5K subscriber special. You've probably heard me say thank you for 5,000 subscribers a lot. But this is the last time, I promise, because this is the 5K subscriber special. This video has been in the works for a long time, and Ben 10's 15th anniversary inspired me to come up with the idea. That was a long time ago though, so I wanted to make it happen for another occasion. 5K is the perfect time, a Dragon Ball and Ben 10 collab. What if Goku found the Omnitrix? Now, of course the Omnitrix doesn't exist in the Dragon Ball world, so we're gonna have to create a situation for it to exist. If you guys have ever watched Ben 10, you know that a very smart alien dude named Azimuth made the Omnitrix and sent it to Earth. Our Dragon Ball Azimuth will be Dr. Mew from GT. And yeah, he might not be canon, but this makes a lot of sense. He makes the Omnitrix among his other creations, such as a parasite named Baby, but deems it too dangerous to keep them both in the same place or even the same galaxy, as them combining would cause issues that he cannot comprehend. They would be too powerful. He sends the Omnitrix somewhere off of Baby's database, Earth. Of course, the start of Dragon Ball wouldn't change much. Goku just lands on Earth like he would normally. Grandpa Gohan would find him and take him in, raising him to the best of his abilities before Goku would hit his head and become pure-hearted. Gohan would still get smashed by Goku, who turned into a great ape. A few nights later, Goku would be out scavenging for food when a rock coming down from the air would catch his attention. It lands in the lake in front of him, dissipating all the water. Goku's angered, so he goes to confront the strange rock, thinking it's an actual person and it's evil. So Goku tries to kick it, which smashes it open. The Omnitrix is revealed, and from the inside, Goku goes to touch it. As soon as he does though, it attaches to his wrist, calibrating and turning Goku into heat blast. Goku's confused, but thinks that the magic watch is inside of him, so he punches himself. It's a Goku thing to do. Eventually, 10 minutes would pass and he would turn back into himself. If you guys have ever watched Ben 10, you know that the time limit of the original watch was 10 minutes for every transformation. Goku's confused, but doesn't think much of it. The watch is still stuck to his wrist, and every attempt to take it off fails. Goku thinks of the watch as a whole person, talking to it, much like the 4-star Dragon Ball. I think he might symbolize it, but instead of sort of like praying to it like he did with the ball, he would mess around with it because it would create noises and holograms. One day Goku would accidentally press on the watch while a hologram was active, turning him into wild mud. Goku's confused again, but realizes he can move around and jump higher than he used to. Goku has fun with this before 10 minutes pass and he converts back. Now, while Goku isn't the smartest person, I think he would figure out the basics of what this watch does. Twist it and then slap it and it turns you into cool things. That's as simple as it can get. I think a year would pass with him having control over the Omnitrix before Bulma would come by. Goku is using Cannon Bolt and he accidentally hits Bulma's car, crushing it. Bulma gets scared seeing the creature that is Cannon Bolt, but he turns back into Goku as the time limit ran out. She's confused and questions Goku, who still doesn't know what women are. Bulma gives him the rundown and asks for the Dragon Ball, and we all know how that plays out. They go on an adventure together to collect the balls. Goku and Bulma would start to bond again, and the only thing that would change at this part is that when they find Turtle, Goku turns into Ripjaw to swim faster and get to Roshi's quicker. In return, he gets offered the Flying Nimbus but denies it, turning into Stink Fly. Roshi's intrigued by the transforming kid with a tail too. Bulma is as well, wanting to study this creepy, weird watch. How does it turn you into other aliens, other species, things that she might never have even heard over ever if she didn't meet Goku? They leave and encounter Oolong. Goku tries to transform into forearms, but the Omnitrix does a switcheroo on him. Instead of getting bigger and bulkier, he gets smaller and scrawnier. He turns into gray matter. But it's not all bad. He realizes what Oolong is playing at with his very, very smart brain, and defeats him using easy tactics. Oolong decides to tag along with them as well. Yamcha eventually comes into contact with them, where Goku would successfully turn into forearms this time, scaring Yamcha away. At Fire Mountain, Roshi's assistance is needed because Goku is able to turn into Heat Blast and control the fire surrounding Fire Mountain. Instead of blowing a hole through the mountain, he simply uses his powers to control the fire and blast it away. We'll just skip over the Rabbit Mob because it's not a very interesting arc. The last part of their journey is defeating the Pilaf gang. The group do end up getting captured, but before Pilaf can summon the dragon, Goku turns into gray matter and figures a way out of the room. As he does, he looks at the moon and starts to transform. But since he's still in gray matter's form, he's smart enough to realize what's happening to him, and looks down, avoiding it. But with the buffiness he still has, he breaks a hole in the wall and everyone escapes. Gray Matter tells Yamcha to attack Pilaf, which he does, successfully, while he tells Bulma to make the wish she wants. Bulma doesn't know what to wish for. She already found her perfect boyfriend, sort of, and wishing for strawberries at a time like this feels childish. But then she thinks. She realizes what she wants to know. She wishes to understand everything about the Omnitrix. Shenron grants the wish without any problem, and her brain is flooded with knowledge she never had before. Bulma starts jumping, having discovered all this. Goku's timer runs out on the transformation, and he recovers the memory of gray matter, realizing now what the moon does to him, and what he probably did to his own grandfather. He falls down, motionless, and in emotional distress. Bulma comes over to confront him, and days go by. In this version of events, Goku never heads to Roshi's to train. While the idea is compelling, Bulma doesn't let him leave. She knows so much about the Omnitrix now. Actually, she knows everything. She starts running tests on Goku and it, figuring out ways he can get stronger to satisfy his needs so Goku doesn't leave to train with Roshi. Yamcha, on the other hand, takes up on the chance and goes himself to train, because he's hearing all this talk about this super strong turtle hermit or something. He goes and finds Krillin already training. Roshi requires a little price, which Yamcha can suffice, if you know what I mean. Plus, a training partner for Krillin would be good, so he becomes an official member of the Turtle Hermit School. Bulma runs tests on Goku's blood, realizing he's not even human. Turns out the Omnitrix isn't the only anomaly she's looking at. Unfortunately for her, the Dragon Balls aren't back to full use again because it hasn't been a year. But Goku hears about this tournament thing from Yamcha and wants to participate. Goku's been training, and the concept of weighted training or weighted clothing was also introduced to him by Yamcha. Luckily, Bulma was there, and she was able to create an even better solution. With the help of Gray Matter's big brain, she creates a gravity chamber that could go up to 10 times of Earth's gravity. Goku could only handle 2 times at the beginning, but over the 7 months he was able to get up to 5 times. This is way earlier than gravity training should be introduced, so you can imagine how strong he would get. I believe that without Roshi's training, his technique wouldn't be anywhere close to perfect. It actually wouldn't be anywhere near what it was in the original because he's not getting any of that Turtle Hermit juice. But he would be stronger in brute strength. A lot stronger. Not to mention his alien transformations, making him stronger, faster, or smarter depending on what it is. The tournament starts with Krillin defeating Bacterian, much like normal. Jackie Chun fights Yamcha, who is much stronger than normal, but it's nowhere near Roshi's level, so Yamcha's defeated. Nam defeats Ramfam, and Goku fights Jiren. He doesn't have to use any of his transformations to take him on, but he does debate over using Stingfly because Jiren reminds him of that transformation. Jackie Chun goes up against his last student, Krillin. The fight is intense, but Krillin just can't match up to his master's level, resulting in his defeat. Jackie now wants to win it all for the prize money, but realizes who he has to face to get it. Will be a challenge for him. Goku fights Nam, and while he is a difficult opponent, Goku's just way too strong to defeat. The final battle takes place with the 2 fighters getting in the ring. Now let's do some power levels, which I bet you guys have been waiting for. Goku's original power level around this time in the series was like 85-ish, but since he's been doing gravity training, I think it's safe to assume at a low ball his power level would be at least 3 times that, which would put him at 255. Roshi's power level is like 160 to 180, so he's done for. Goku wants to utilize his transformation, so he uses Accelerate to mess around with Roshi, going so fast Roshi's eyes can't even see. Not to mention, each transformation provides a specific power boost to Goku, which we don't really know, so Roshi is ultimately defeated anyways. Now we move on to the Red Ribbon Army Saga. Originally, Bulma wanted to get the Dragon Balls to figure out what species Goku is, since she knows everything about the Omnitrix she knows, the species of all the aliens that Goku has within the Watch, but what about him? Goku doesn't much care. He just wants the 4-star ball because that's how he remembers his grandfather. They both head for the Dragon Balls, and Bulma's radar comes in handy. Pilaf and the Red Ribbon Army have the same mess, except Goku doesn't get engaged with Chi-Chi. He still easily takes on Colonel Silver though, getting the 6-star Dragon Ball. Goku then turns into Accelerate once more, and alongside Bulma speeds over to the next location, Muscle Tower. Goku is still in Accelerate and runs through the entire base, taking out all the soldiers. He does spot a few big and troubling ones, but they can't even see him. Realizing they're robots, he just cuts their limbs, leaving them with nothing to move or attack with. Ninja Murasaki stands no chance against this Goku, and he gets a very painful defeat. F in the chat. Goku also notices Android 8 in his cage, and releases him thinking he isn't a bad guy, and with no order to him, Ader has already really no purpose, and he still hates violence, so he decides to tag along with Goku. General White tries to fight Goku as his transformation time runs out, but just because Goku's a tiny kid doesn't mean he can't fight. Goku lands a solid kick to General White, which sends him through the walls of Muscle Tower and miles away from Suno's village, probably killing him in the process too. Ader joins along on the two's adventure, as they all head towards the remainder of the Dragon Ball. But that's where we leave things off for right now. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. This is fully original story, so with basically nothing to reference to. Let me know how I did. Make sure to comment your thoughts. Where do you think this is gonna go? Will Bulma find out Goku's origin story? What will happen to the Omnitrix, and how will it evolve going down the line, if you know what I mean? Let me know all your thoughts. I'm actually really interested to hear them. But with that, I'll see you in the next one.